here first we need to define a contract line type. Okay, under line type we need to see what kind of services we are going to provide, right? uh, Based on that we need to define it. I'm going to define GBS contract line. Then this is a line type. Then you can give the source. Okay, source in the sense, is it a buy contract or sell? Whenever we deal with customer based projects, right, it will be always sell contract. Okay, we'll make it a sell free form project based sell. Okay, means you can also allocate the associate the projects, and here's a sell contract when the project based. This is a source. Okay, like this you can create as many line types based on the services we have, and minimum at least one line type should be there. If we have more line types, more services which are going to do, then we need to create them as many is required. Okay, then once we create a line type by using a line type, okay, and we also go with the creation of the contract type, because when you are creating a contract, line type is mandatory. Then here we can go to the contract type setups and create a contract. This is a, as I said, right, this is an enterprise contract module. Then we will create a set. I'm creating under common so that it will have a good amount of access. Common data set. Then we can have a name. Okay, we can save GCS contract. This is a cell contract, and you want to allow the lines. Yes, line class is equal to project, and I will give the oldest date. This is the setup, right? I can give some old date, okay, to define a contract, and click on continue. Normally you may have a one contract for external, one contract for intercompany, or one contract, different types you can maintain it. The reason, the way the different nature of services you are going to provide, you can control some of the things under contract setup level. It's a kind of how we created a project template, right? Similar way, this is the kind of contract template we are creating. uh, Before then, when we are creating a contract, when you get a contract from customer, right, when you're implementing, then you will use this contract type and create a contract to that customer in the system. That's how it will be. Then here we, once we create a basic information, it will open to enter for further more information. Okay, it will have a enable auto line numbering, means you want to make it automatic line numbering for contracts. Okay, line 1 2 3 4, or you are going to provide your own manual line numbering. Okay, that you can enable it here. Then role, contract role name. Okay, what will be the buyer for this contract? Is the customer is going to be a buyer, and seller is equal to supplier. Okay, means as a firm we will supply the goods, as a customer they will receive the services, whatever goods. And the contract owner, right, can make it as a contract administrator, as a role, owner of the contract. Then we can have a templates. Okay, layout template. If let's say sales agreement or customer contract, then we'll have a template, contract terms template. And we have here one of the functionality, notification before expiration of the contract. This functionality is given for the purpose of, let's say you have a contract which is written and is going to be expire after 1 week or 5 days or 6 days, right? You want to notify certain people, okay, this contract going to be expired, they can get proper action. It's an ongoing contract. Okay, those cases you can enable it. Okay, a notification before, let's say 7 days, and whom they want to notify, contract administrator. This functionality we can use it if they want to notification to be triggered in advance before contract is undated. Okay, when you enable a type level, the subsequent the contracts which you are going to create by using this type that will be there automatically. It will trigger the notification to take appropriate action. Okay, contract numbering method. Let's say you want to be create a contract by using a automatic or manual. Let's say automatic, then you can define a contract number based on business unit level or global or ledger or legal entity. Okay, depends on the level which you are going to. If you go with the manual, it's kind of alphanumeric or alpha, you can define it. But most of the cases contract number, right, will set it up manual. The reason, right, some customer says, okay, I want my contract number is equal to my project number, I want my contract number is equal to my master agreement number or my purchase order number, right? That case you have to go with a manual. Let's say no, we don't have anything like that, then system has to deliver the contract unique contract number, that we will use it for billing and all, that also is fine. But when you want to go with a numbering sequence, these are all the options what we have. You can set it up accordingly in the system. I'm setting up a business unit level. Then once you fill this information, we have a line types. Okay, like contract options. Okay, here you see, as I said, line type why we created before. We need to add one line type at least. Okay, we have a GBS contract and GBS services. I created a GBS contract line tray. Then you can add as many line types if you want. Okay, minimum one is required. Then party roles. If you have any parties in the contract, right? Let's say a customer or supplier. Let's say supplier, you can have a party role and customer. Then you can go to billing options. This is a key for billing, whether this project is going to be intercompany or inter-project or enabling billing control, right? Then you need to enable the, if we want to billing control enable, then you need to enable this. We have something called, this is only for inter-project and intercompany. If you are enabled to, right, you need to enable these two if the project type is belongs to intercompany or inter-project. If it is external contract, then you can use this billing control option also is a good one. The reason, right, whenever you get a agreement value or PO value from the customer, right, if any cost you don't want to bill more than the value what is agreed with the customer or the agreement value or PO value, right, then we can enable the billing control. We have a soft limit and hard limit. Soft limit means whenever you have a contract value, let's say 100k, then if the system will not allow to bill more than 100k, if enable the soft limit, it will give a warning saying that you are trying to bill overbilled based on that contract whatever amount, but it will show you a warning in the soft limit. When you enable hard limit, system will tell you you are billing over of the contract value, then it won't allow to generate a bill until unless you extend that, okay, contract value of. It depends on some customer, until unless you get my extension of PO, you don't bill anything. Whatever is agreed or PO value, you can set it up a hard limit. Otherwise, you can set it up a soft limit. Then we have a authoring options. Let's say whenever you write a contract in the system, right? You want to be enable the terms authoring. It means what are all the terms and conditions. Enable the risk. If any risk is there, you can list out there. And enable the related contracts. Let's say the same customer having a different contracts, then you can relate one to other to see that okay all the contracts. Then also you can have a allow amendment without versioning. This is option given, but don't use it much, because allow amendment without a versioning in the sense I created a contract, okay, and activated, then Mark went and updated that contract. That time what I am expecting, right, I want to be a version 1 version 2 should be there, so that okay originally this is what is created, next level somebody has go and updated, that will allow to create a multiple version, so that you'll have a track of history. What will happen by enable this, right, allow amendment without versioning, it will have only one version, okay, it will keep on changing it. That may give us some kind of confusion. Where you want a version not to be there, then you can use this. Where you want to be a version to be generated whenever you're amending the contract, you don't enable this. The last thing, signature. If you want to enable a signature or something, right, normally you need to have a electronic signature enable here. Okay, then you need to provide the solution, subject and error, whatever message kind of you print your electronic signature of any document, right, that you need to use it over here. If digital signature need to be there in the contract. These are all the information you need to fill while creating a contract. Any questions?
No.
Okay, then you click on save. Okay, contract. Okay, party rule must be unique. Okay, okay, we have already here party role, so that it won't be, because we given here, right, buyer and seller. That's it. Save. Now I have a contract is created, so that I have a line type, then contract created by using certain information based on my requirement. Now I have a GBS contract line, then I have a GBS contract which has been created. Now I need to go with a sequence, document sequence category while creating a contract. Okay, just click on done. It will go to again here. Then you can search here document sequence categories. Here, right, document sequence category, let's say you are creating a contract management. Okay, then you can enable what are all the document names, document numbers need to be created here. Here, okay, you have a two set of, okay, manage document sequence categories and manage document sequence. Okay, categories first we need to define. Second, this will be application. Can select project billing. Okay, this is a project billing. You need to select. Then class code, GBS billing, class category, EX, GBS billing external. Then I can make it another thing. Okay, then I can also made, okay, is like this external billing and the module. You can select the module key here. We will get all the modules. We need to select a project billing. Project billing. Then save it. Like this, you can create as many sequences, document categories and all by using this. Okay, this is a document category code. Then we need to create a by using this document sequences. Then sequence name. Okay, here, okay, we can create a document sequence. GBS billing 1, then application, projects billing, Then module also you can select project billing. Here a document sequence, okay, whether it could be automatic or manual, okay. Gapless in the sense, it will be just go continuation of naming numbering sequence, okay. When you say automatic, then you have to say whether which level, okay, business unit level, ledger level, legal entity level. This will be same, okay, whether whichever type you select, then it will be same, okay. So that you need to choose either automatic or manual or gapless. Gapless, you don't have any the number what you are going to provide, you will not have any gap between those. Let's say we are going to give automatic at business unit level. I'm going to give real estate. Then here you need to create document sequence. You need to choose the document sequence category which we created. GBS billing. Okay, sorry, GBS contract. Okay, here you can search here. Okay, then you can choose the method automatic. Then you can choose the start date. Then you can business unit value, because we said a business unit, right? Here we are giving US1 business unit. Let me select from the search. Okay, here this we need to select the business unit name. If I have multiple BUs and different sequences, right, you can set it up as many required based on that. Can save it, can save and close. We have a document sequences and document categories, okay, which we've been done. Then we need to go with the contract hold reasons, okay. Normally contract hold, over the life cycle of the contract, right, you may put a contract on hold due to some discussion we are going to do with a customer, or some work at risk will be there, and you say customer says not to build something for some period of time, right. That time you will apply a hold on a contract, right. For that, when you are applying hold, we have some reasons to be defined days, okay. This contract hold reason is a standard lookup. Under that lookup, right, as a business we need to define a reasons for why the contract is going on hold. That's where it will be, okay. Let's say this is a standard lookup, you don't need to recreate again. The what we need to do, under the lookup you need to go on your add values or the reasons, okay. Let's say approval pending, okay. Approval pending is one reason, right. Then let me select. Okay, then I'm selecting. Okay, always when you are defining, let put the sequence will display, the reason it will display in that order when user is selecting, okay. And then you will have a approval pending from client, approval pending from customer, okay. You can give one date, and then you can give description, okay. Like this I'm going to add another reason, okay. Let's say at another case, what cases contract will go on hold, okay. uh, contract extension is pending, right? Okay, extension. Sometimes you may have a contract, but you got whatever is provided, you have been spent and you bill to the customer. Then to you may incur the cost, right? But you don't want to bill. That time you will put on hold and saying you need to this one to be there. So that system will making sure that will be on hold with the so and so reason. If somebody want to get it release, right, once they get extension will be, yeah. Extension of contract is pending. Then you can make this, okay, description. And tag means you can tag either the sequence or some numbers kind of thing. Like this, you can have a reasons in the contract hold. Okay. Here, these reasons will tell you, okay, what will be the reason why we are putting on hold. All of them you can apply while using in a business. This one normally we will ask a customer, okay, when we go for requirement discussions, right? We'll ask them, okay, saying what kind of what are all the scenarios you may have a hold and how you want to put on hold, okay? All these are listed out. And this one it cannot be let's say you will has to list everything at one go. No, let's say as you incurred new cases of right new reasons, you always go and add your reason over there. Okay, so that or else if some setup since this is setup, right, maybe end user may not have a option to add this. What they do, they go and raise a service ticket, right? Then they will do accordingly. Service team, they will do accordingly. Just save and close. Once we have a hold reasons, then you have a contract relationships. Okay, how you are going to what are all the relationships you are going to maintain under the contract. Under contract relationships, okay, here also this also one of the lookup. Okay, whether the relationship of the contract will be a child or parent, or it will be a government, it will be a master, it will be a subcontract. Okay, based on the relationship, that's why we enable the one of the option contract relationship, right, parent and child. Here we can make it as a relationship type. Okay, here GBS master. Okay, let's say GBS master. Okay, let's say this is the 10th item. Then GBS master contract. Then we can create like this. Then let's say I have another lookup code GBS child. Okay, or you can create a parent and child, or you can make it as a subcontract or major contract, whatever mappings you want to, you can make it. GBS child contract. Okay, here I can make it GBS master and GBS child. Like this I can add the relationship types differently. Okay, let's say you may do for different kind of vendors, different kind of genre or geography or services, right? All of them can have it have a types of relationship which they have between contracts. You can save it. Then you can have a relationship type, one master and one child. Okay, like this you can have that. Any questions on this? And these two lookups, what we did, one is the reason types, one is the relationship types.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Then once we have reasons and relationship type, right? Then we have something called important thing is on the revenue and invoice methods. Okay, how you are going to, what are all the methods you have to revenue recognition or invoice creation for the contracts in the business. Here first you can go with the revenue methods. Okay, what will be the revenue methods we have? Under revenue methods, you need to create a method. Okay, let's say GBS revenue, right? Is it a classification? Which method? These are all the methods or Oracle, what Oracle give. Whether you are going to go with the amount based, as billed means based on the billing you are going to revenue recognized, as incurred means based on the cost, right? Or based on the percent complete, or based on the percent spent, or based on the bill rate. Okay, these are all the methods we have as a revenue calculation in the Oracle functionality. Let's say if we have a contract which we are going to go with based on the event based or milestone based, okay, then you can choose amount based. If your contract is going to be revenue method based on the rate based, means person will have a bill rates, based on that you are going to bill them, then you need to choose a rate based. Then I'm going to first one, okay, I'm going to create two methods, revenue event method, okay, where I'm going to create a amount based here, right? This assignment type process configuration based, in the sense, let's say based on the setup you are going to do, it will be wherever you have extension, means where you are going with some kind of customization, then you need to go with extension base. You put your logics and conditions and bring them based on the customization thing. Here we're going with the configuration thing, and which level this is going to be effective, associated project level, associated contract line level. Okay, what will be the level? Let's say you have a contract, contract will have a line, line will have a project and task. That is the lowest level. If you go with only contract line, then that is a second level. If you go with the contract level, that is the first level. Okay, I'm going to go with a contract line, so that one contract line will have one project and task combination. Then you can have a project, this one, right, billing event. What will be the process order? Okay, GBS billing event, I will give one. Okay, then you can save it. Let's say this used for revenue method for intercompany billing. Let's say this is for this revenue method you also use intercompany, you can enable this, but we'll keep it intercompany, any kind of intercompany you deal with, right? You need to keep it separately. Okay, this is not. We will just assign here when you are creating a contract. We will assign at individual contract level, so that we'll have a flexibility. Contract type will have revenue method will have a high level setup. Each revenue method you are going to define at individual contract will have differently. Similar way, we can create another method which is called rate based. Okay, GBS rate based, where you can rate based. Here, which rate? Labor, build rate, non-labor, build rate. Okay. Then which level? Contract line level. You can have a different method: burden rate, schedule, cost reimbursable, whatever. But I'm going with the build rates, which is there for labor and non-labor. Because if you remember, we set up some rate schedule in a previous session, right? Cost rate. You see here, GBS non-labor, person rate. This one, or we also have a override rates. Each individual contract may have a different rates. Okay, not go with a standard rate schedule also. Depends on the need. You can save this so that we will have different revenue or different invoice methods which can be created. So this is the revenue method. Then similar way, we also need to create a invoice methods. This is for billing purpose. That is for revenue generation purpose. Amount based invoice. Okay, how you are going to contract line level? I'm going to create. Then similar way, I'm going to create another method, GBS rate based. Then here build rate and build rate at contract line level. Save and save and close. Like this, we need to have a methods of revenue based on you. Some of times you may have a percent complete, percent spend. It depends on there will be a standard formula and where the revenue and invoices will be generated based on the percent complete and percent spent. Okay, this on the invoice and revenue methods creation. Any questions? Or you are good too?
No, 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 so far good.
Yeah. So let me track it here. Okay. And then we are going with the auto invoicing. Okay, how you want to grow with the ordering lines and grouping lines, grouping rules. First one, it will go auto invoice ordering rules. Let's say here we have a how you want to order by. Okay, uh, let's say you will have a line 1, line 2, line 3, right? Project line order or something. We need to create. Okay, let's say I'm going to create a one order line. Okay, here if you see what you want to be put into order, these are all the attributes. Okay, when you are generating invoice, right, These are all the attributes you have, means the data fields. Now we can say what will be our first attribute need to be. Okay, let's say uh, we'll have some standard fields, or let's say you want a purchase order. Okay, ascending order, then sequence, then second one currency code. You have which invoice you are going to bill, ascending order or descending order. Then we'll also have different attributes. Okay, you can have agreement name if you have. Okay, you can put. Then we'll have an amount. This you can keep it amount based on ascending order. All these rules, right? You can add as many fields which is there in the drop down. That means that is a transaction attribute thing. Sometimes you have a DFF value, or right, that time you can add those things also. Let's say quantity, I'm going to add a quantity like this, then save it. Okay, like this you can add our thing. Save it. Then we'll have a grouping rules, auto invoice grouping rules. Okay, grouping. Here we can give, here I can select my order by, then I can select the transaction. Let's say I have a debit memo, credit memo, invoice. Each three classes we can add by here. Again, we can add all the attributes. Which are all the attributes you want to have it for invoice? Similar way for revenue, similar way for credit memo, similar way for debit memo. We need to add this attribute. Let's say I'm going to add some of the attributes over here. I can add it sales order, attribute 1. Similar way we can add one more here. This is for credit memo, right? We'll have a different this is the transaction classes what we do create into the system. Then we'll add debit memo. This means positive invoice where you just directly create some small amounts or something. Let me put this is a oldest date. Then this one I put by sales order. Okay, like this we can add the grouping. How you want to group, if it's invoices, if it's credit memo, if it's debit memo, you can group them. Okay, like this you can group it. Okay, then we'll have something called payment terms. Normally whenever we set up a customer, right, or we send an invoice to them, then they has to pay based on that some terms, right? Payment terms like 30 days, 45 days, whatever. Here Oracle will give some setup payment term 30, 45 or something, but you want to have a different naming convention, or you want to set up a payment terms away 15 days, 7 days, 10 days, right? Then you can set up the payment terms. On that payment terms, okay, we can set up, let's say GBS net 30, okay. I'm giving net 30 and allow discounts on partial payment if on this in any payment term by using this, right? Any invoice you want to allow them as a partial payments, yes. You want to allow them as a prepayment, yes. You want to allow them as a credit check, yes. Depends, okay. Then what is the billing cycle will be whenever this payment comes. And this one you can keep it monthly, weekly, bi-weekly. This also billing cycles also can define. Let me select monthly.
Mark, Mark, are you there? Hey, Ashok, what is happening? We get paid on a weekly basis.
Yeah,
Okay, so in that case, they are making it.
7 days.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
So we need to make it 7 days from the date of invoice. You are going to make it weekly in that case.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Mark, your laptop has come back. I know you can type. I can hear you. I can't hear you.
You can have a monthly, and you can have a discount. Whether is this if you are going to apply a discount, right? Whether invoice line only or line and tax or overall invoice amount. And then we also can give the starting date and print lead days. Let's say once you generate an invoice within a 1 days or 2 days, the lead days we can give. And based on, right, you can have a payment schedule has been created over here, okay. Here you can have the dates.
Yeah.
You can just save this. Okay, we need to give the number of days. You see here I need to say this is a 30 days, right? I need to give 30. Then it will be, if it's a 7 days concept, right, then you need to give a 7 days in the sequence. Here same thing, I can go under create, okay, similar payment terms for 7 days. First one will create a DBS 30, then I can create net 7. Then let's say here I don't allow the prepayments. Okay, let's say I will allow the prepayment because I'm going to get early and credit check, but not discounts or partial payment because it's a lesser duration, right? Then I will select here billing cycle kind of weekly. This also we can create. Okay, let's say I will keep it here. When it's come to the number of days in the here, right, I can use 7 days, so that will be, the due will be calculated 7 days from the date of invoice. The naming convention why we are giving, right, when the user is selecting the payment terms, it will for them is easy to understand. Okay, this is a net 7 days, net 30, but inside this is where it will be populated. You can give this like this. You can have a 45 days, 60 days, 90 days, right? depends on the customer. We may have a different payment terms, but as a system we will create the list of payment terms, what are all the payment terms. And even something new comes, right? Some of them will have a every 15 days, every 45 days, every 75 days, something. And still you can go and create. Or if not, they will, like suppose we will create, normally we'll ask user to create a service ticket to the service team, then they will go and create it accordingly.
Yeah, Ashok, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good, it's working now finally. Sorry. Um, the actual terms and stuff, are they actually linked as well to the AR module?
Yes,
So
from here only
yeah,
you are going to print.
yeah. So I don't need to create these if I've got AR available
No, no.
and up
You
set up.
create here, right? You are going to generate it. See, if you are creating a invoice directly in AR, that is a different story.
Mm,
Okay.
right.
If you are sending a
Yep.
invoice from the contracts from PPM, then you will definitely payment terms, invoice perform, all of them. Okay, will be taken from here.
Okay.
Okay. Then you can create the payment terms as much is required from the business point of view. These are all the base things, okay, which you need to create in the contract management. You need to create a line types, contract types, document sequences and categories and sequences, and the hold region, relationship reasons, and the revenue methods, invite methods, and invoice and ordering rules and group rules, and the payment terms. You also find a lot of other things, but those are all the minimum you can create, okay, and you can use and set it up them accordingly. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we have a
Yeah.
next topic called keep
Yeah.
KPIs. Keep yeah. Go ahead.
No, no, sorry. Go ahead. I will bring it
We have
last.
something called KPIs. Okay. Before I go to KPIs, I will go with the approval workflow. Okay. I think last time some of you asked, right? I will show the pro forma how it will look like, where to set it up. But to set up any kind of workflow, we need to have employees, all the stuff. But I will show what kind of approvals we can have in the PPM. There are around 1,000 plus across the system. Okay. In
Oh, my
efficient
God.
1,000. Okay, they are across the module. Time card, expenses, AP, depends on the each individual module or business case. They can go and set it up. Okay, and for this, what we need to do, any approval workflow, we need to go with the can go to setup and maintenance, and here right, this way under tools, we have something called work list. We should have something called work list. Can go to here. What is transaction controls console? Okay, transaction consoles. Here you can go to approval rules. Here you can search with project status. Okay, you see here when I search project, there are a lot of them, right?
Yep.
You can create your own rule. Okay, let's say project, under project status change approval. You can click on this configuration rule. It will open the a new tab where you could see the BPM workflows, business process management. Here you could find, you can search, this is a BPM workflow page. Any approval rules you are going to create, first you may have a requirement, right? Whether you are going with approval based on some groups or based on some direct individual or based on some roles, all of them, right? Let's say any project changes should go to project manager or should go to project controller, depends, right? That you will have. Under that you need to go and search here project status. That's why I said lot of rules will be there, okay, in cloud. There is a typo. Okay, let me check here. Project. Okay, project status notification approval. Okay, I will open this. Here, when I click here, I could see this menu, right? Under this, you can go to assignee. You see the flow, right? This is the first level. I can set it up. Project status. Here, go to the rule. Then it will go to the another page. You see, lot of rules is there. Somebody might set up or differently, right? Here you see. Now I set up one rule, okay, before this to explain to you both of you, okay. Now when you set up a rule, right, you can just go here and add a rule, okay. What we need to do before you do any setup, you need to make this thing, okay. You need to click on edit task, then only it will allow to create a new rule under the project status. Go to assignment and then here go to rules. It will show all the rules which is exist. You can have a multiple rules under the project status, in the sense, okay, a particular business unit will go with this rule, another business unit will go, all contract project will go, like this you can set it up. Here I set up a one rule where I given some condition, okay. Here if you look at, right, if the project business unit, this one, if the project type GBS contract, DGS contract, DCS capital and overhead, okay, the approval, then if this is the condition met for project's approval, then I selected approval group. I'm not selecting a person, okay. I selected approval group. Whom it need to go for approval? Then I created one group, okay. I will come to the group, okay. In this tab you need to create a groups. That's why I said when you get a requirement, we should know whether it's a person based or role based or group based. There are three set of approvals. It will go X, or it will go group of people which is called ABC group, or it will go to the role a project manager, project controller, or whatever. These are all the three ways you can. Now I select a group, person group, and this is a workflow rule. When you set up this, right, what will happen? You selected a business unit, all these project types should go with this approval group. Now similar way, I'm going to create another rule, generic rule, okay. I'm making this rule GBS project approval, GBS project status approval. Then first one, if. What if means? We need to get, okay. Let's search, okay. I will search, always try to search with the percentages and all, because we have a lot of them in the list, okay. Okay, 1 second. First end, project dot business unit name, okay. Project business unit is equal to, okay, project business unit name, Okay, project business, or you can select our business unit name also. Okay, business unit name. If the business unit name is equal to, hey, it's not selected. 1 second. Then we need to give two quotation here. US1 business unit, and close that. Like this, you need to give. The first thing we need to, let's say I'm selecting a project business unit name is equal to this one. Okay, let me
Yeah, so
type.
there's no drop down list then which would look at your
No, no
data.
problem, because it has a lot of list. Okay, it won't give, but you can search it like this. You need to search, because when you go search, that's why you need to type a key term project. Then if you type p, right, all start
No,
with.
no, I'm not sorry. I meant the actual your variable data that you have, right? So
Hmm.
say you've got 3 or 4 business units set up in
No, no,
there.
you will not have. You have to exactly type in the code
Okay,
here.
thank you.
Okay. Then once you have, this is the if condition. Okay. If, okay, keep it simple. This business unit, right? And then you can add. If this is this, then you can also go. Let's say you can go towards down. There is something add approver. Here approval, as I said, right? Either group, either job, either chain level, hierarchy, or position, or resource, or supervisory, whatever, right? Then here we need to, let's say I will say job. Okay, position. Okay, let's say position. If the project is submit for this BU, then who is the position we need to go with, right? That's why it's a role builder is came as a position. You can say project manager. Okay, let's say I will say this is my role to be notified to a project manager. But who is the project? That project manager should have a role, should have been assigned to a project, and should have a proper active assignment. All of them should be there. What if I don't want a project manager? As I said, right, we here I assign a rule called group. Okay, in the group, what will happen when I go here? I will, let me open a new tab. Okay, when I go here, rules, approval groups, I created some group called GCS, some approval group. Okay, it means where I listed some users. GCS. Okay, here this is approval group. What I will do, I added some people to notify them. This is a group. First, it will go to this person, next this person, then this person. Once everybody approved, it will go for approval. If it will done, it will be based on the group of people. Okay. While creating also, you can identify. That's where we ask the business, right? Whether it's a person based, whether it's a role based, whether you have a group to notify. Like that is, it's just for project status. You may have a budgets, you may have a all of them, right? Contract and all. The once you create like this, right? What you need to do, let's say rule is created, then you have something to, is a rule under draft mode, right? Then you need to activate the rule, right? I need to go to the task configuration. Okay, project status approval notification. Then go to here. See, this is already under edit mode. Okay, so that's why it's not. Then once you created it, then you need to save it. Once you save it, we need to deploy. Commit, in the sense you are placing the rule to use it. Okay, what will happen that time, that your rule will be, let's say you want to modify the rule. Okay, your approval group people has been changed, then they has to raise a service ticket. Not end user cannot do this setup. Okay, but from IT or the consultant level, they has to get the requirement and set up a rule, and it will keep on getting the rules created and different module. Then we need to use them accordingly. But the individual client will have a different nature of requirement, but we need to understand what are all the approval status, what are all the things will be there. But I will share some document on the approval workflows. Okay, not specific to PPM, but it will give some heads up on that maybe after the call. That approvals will be a key thing, but this need to be done either projects approvals, either approval by projects or budgets or contracts, or some of the times you have a time card which is dealt by OTL, supplier invoice done by the finance team, general ledger related approvals when you load something, or procurement related or requisition related, all of them fall under BPM work list. Okay, that's why you see 1,000 more than 1,000 kind of combination you can.
Yeah.
Okay, but I will share one good document. Okay, but whenever your people need help or something, you let.
Yeah.
Then
Thank you, Ashok.
yeah, we have some KPIs, key performance indicators. Okay, key performance indicator in the sense, whenever we create a projects, or we need to do some kind of data right to them to report or something, we will enable at in PPM level key performance indicators, that is called KPIs. Whether we need to show the budgets, forecast, revenue, cost. Okay, those we call under it will come under here. Okay, let me check project performance reporting. Here it will come. In this I will just enable all of them. We will have a multiple indicators. Okay, but here let's say status indicators, we have KPI categories, we have, let's say, key performance. Okay, manage key performance indicators. Here you can add what kind of performance indicators you want. GBS. Okay, I'm just selecting our project unit. Then let me add them. Okay, here we can create, let's say, GBS project performance indicator. I will just make it this copy paste. Then whether what you want to see, profitability or cost or financials, right? Category KPIs. Then let's say I want to make it as a profitability. Okay, here you will see, right, measure. Okay, at what level? You will have a lot of options here, whether it's going to be actual and labor effort variance or completion based on EAC or ETC. You can add the measures, okay. And let's say I'm selecting the first one, actual budget and forecast percentage. Then this is of indicator name and which project unit this will be, GBS consulting. Then the trending indicator, increase a negative impact or increase a positive impact, okay, tracker, okay, let's say positive. Then the tolerance percentage, how much will be, if it's a negative, then what will be the tolerance, let's say I let up to 10% you can consider. Then threshold, multiple threshold level or single threshold level, multiple threshold, I can mention here multiple threshold under the down. Then calendar type and this one fine. Here as I mentioned multiple thresholds, I can give threshold start, okay, let's say 0 to 10,000, okay. Status indicator, let's say within this it will be on track, less than, okay. Then more than 10,000 to 50,000, then I will say at risk. Anything, okay, means it's crossing whatever budget value or something, right? 1 2, then let's say I will call it as a critical. Like this you can add a KPIs. What will happen based on this project unit, whenever we create some projects, these KPIs you can add it at template level also. I will show you, okay. Just close this. Now we have this KPI, GBS project indicator, right? Then I will go to the templates what we created, project templates under foundation. Either you can, if you allocate a template level, it will come to the projects. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, GBS consulting. We have something called 3 sections. Okay, setup section 1. Under setup, we have a 3 sections. One is that project, one is the financials, other one is the reporting, right? Here I can go and add my indicators. See here I can go and add the indicator what I have been given. I can add it like this, whether I want to track it, enable it, measure by resource, right? So that you can create as many indicators and get added to the project template. Then you can measure, okay, it will show the data when you go to the reporting on a particular thing, on a project. Like this you can create a performance indicators. It will be a revenue base, it will be a cost base, it will be a budget and actuals. There are multiple key indicators, okay, which we can use it as KPIs. All those KPIs, right? When you creating, let's say business want to see some report performance, key performance indicators based on the profitability or based on the revenue or whatever, right? Then we need to choose it here, the category cost or financials or user defined, something like that. All this need to choose them. Okay, we can create a categories and measures and also assign them. Okay, for our next session what we do, by using all this configuration I will come up with a project data creation. Okay, I will create some projects and I will show you how it will be on the budgets and the contract creation by using the contract we set up, right? Then we'll go with that. First
Okay.
go with the projects and WBS structure creation if possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you got a? Can you present a flow chart or do something in relation to the actual rules you'll define? You know, your flow chart rules, like you were just showing up there, because there'll be a. I'm talking about just a generic one. You're not going into too many specifics, but
Which one?
sort
Which
of
one? Can you repeat again? I'm trying to get, yeah.
yeah. When you're looking at setting up an actual workflow, right?
Oh,
There'd be yeah. There's a couple of things like you're setting up approving a project or approving a budget or approving um, just in terms of the setup.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Okay, I got it.
just just coming up with just a rudimentary process flow that you would use as a template to implement on that. Would you be able to? Have you got notes on that?
Yeah, what I will do, okay, I will share one configuration book, example configuration book. It will
Hmm.
There will have an index, okay, in the sense which order you want to enable or implement or set up, right? Most of them, whatever order I followed here, it will be the most, okay, in the sense.
Yep.
But I will give one configuration workbook, one dummy workbook, where you will see
Yep.
the index, what will be the order of a little bit
That's
here and
right.
there, depends on the project. You may do some of them below. I did a KPI indicator just now, right?
Yep.
Because I keep it indicator last, but I can go and assign to the template. Except that you will have that. I will share that list. No problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Mark, were you talking about the process maps by any chance?
No,
No. Okay.
He's
I saw
talking
that
about
workflow.
you go through the many configurations, right? But in the
Yeah.
implementation side, which order it will follow? Most of them it will
Yeah.
follow in the same order, but I will give some
Yeah.
workbook. Okay, maybe you also, when you go for implementation, you have to prepare a configuration design document, which is called BR100, whatever, right?
Yeah, it's the
But
old
I will,
BR100.
yeah, correct. I
Yeah,
will get some sample.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's good.
That's good. All right, guys. I actually do have to
I'll,
jump off.
Me too. Actually, I'm literally tired. Thanks, Ashok. I hope everything is well now.
Yeah,
Yeah, tomorrow, like what time? Same time?
yeah, same time. Yes, tomorrow I will
Right.
set up some data.
That,
We'll walk through how
yeah.
it will be connecting all
Okay.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll trek in the city and then it should be okay.